Yes, yes. 30 seconds will go live on the Garage Wildlife television program. Yes, we're going to be reading the dialogue from some Golden Age comic books, all in 9.8 condition, ready to yes. So I'll see you then. Please let the media. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Forever. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to send off some comic books to CGC. Some of the vast archive of comics here in the Gratu Orloff collection we're sending off to CGC, as all good collectors do, because, we're going to read those comics one last time, ladies and gentlemen. And before they're sent off to be slabbed, never to be read again. So, all zero viewers of you can come along with us on this magical voyage into the theater of the mind. You can either follow along or on the TV screen, the original wonderful art, but most of you don't like comic book art. That's why you slab your comics. You never want to see the art again, right? But that's okay. It's okay to be a moron. Let's see. Let's see if anyone's in the chat. I will put an invitation in the chat in case there's anyone that's excited about coming on here. Because you too can be a cast member in this wonderful odyssey. Yes, there it is. Apparently, YouTube has a new rule that you can't curse in the first 3 minutes of any video, or your video can never be monetized. And I'm almost ready to be monetized. I already have, what is it, 469 subscribers. I only need to get another 500 and what is that, 31. So that should take about 5 years, possibly. So, but will the world still be here in 5 years? It's hard to say. All right, so comic books, ladies and gentlemen. Let's, no further ado, let's start reading, because that's what you're here for, to see Golden Age comics for the last time before they're slabbed forever by the evil Klaus Schwab run CGC Corporation, part of the World Economic Forum. Let's see. Here we go. Let's read some of G.I. Joe from 1950, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Let's make sure you can see. Yeah, all right. 4 people here? Wow, that's quite an audience. Let's begin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to those nostalgic days of 1950 Korean War. Let's see what's going on with G.I. Joe. Long before the 12-inch action figure and the little tiny G.I. Joe squad from the 80s and whatever else purports to be a Joe, this is the original G.I. Joe. All right. G.I. Joe in Soul City Lou. Look at him, a regular Clark Gable, a Marlon Brando, Farley Granger. Who's the lucky gal you're making yourself purty for, Joe? Yeah, who's the lucky babe? Soul City Lou, of course. She came to our town a few weeks ago. I thought she was Sergeant Mulvaney's favorite dish. Was is right. Since that sweet little gal has laid her peepers on me, the sergeant is just a revolting memory my lady love is trying hard to forget. Why, the dirty crumb. Oh, these are just ads. How dare they? Yes, Sergeant Mulvaney, what is it? Begging your pardon, Colonel Ironsides, but I have a very important suggestion to offer. Some low, rough characters have been annoying the natives in the nearby village of Rinsan, sir. I respectfully suggest that Rinsan be put off limits for any doefoot under the rank of PFC. You wouldn't be specifically referring to a certain Private Joe Birch, would you, Sergeant Mulvaney? I am referring to just that certain slob, sir. Well, Private Birch does possess an amazing proficiency for getting into difficulties, and so, request granted. Issuing this order will be a distinct pleasure, sir. Well, so long, Sergeant Mulvaney. I'll miss your ugly puss while gazing soulfully into the soulful eyes of Soul City Lou. Post this notice, Private. That's an order. Yipe! I've been sabotaged. It says, notice, Private Joe Birch is not to enter Rinsan on penalty of being demoted by order of the commanding officer, Colonel Ironsides. P.S. If necessary, will invent a rank lower than private. Oh my gosh. G.I. Joe issue number 10, by the way. Oh, what is going to happen? You were saying something about looking into someone's peepers. Right now, I'm thinking of closing someone's peepers. Bye-bye, G.I. Joe. While you're lazing around camp, you might pass the time a day thinking about how I'll be beating your time with Lou. Why, of all the cheap, rotten, treacherous, double-crossing, sometimes I think there just ain't no justice. I can't let Sergeant Mulvaney do this to me. Somehow, I've got to turn the tables on him. But how? How? I know how. Here, Natala, take this 5 spot. Give me one of your extra dresses. Then make yourself scarce. G.I. Joel, you are one swell guy, but if this is fake $5, you are lousy crumb. Oh, my goodness. Oh. If this stunt ever leaks out, I won't even be able to enlist in the Boy Scouts. But I can't let Mulvaney get away with this dirty trick. Whistle at Joe Birch, will you? I got a good notion to bash in the snoot. Meanwhile, whenever I think of G.I. Joe boiling back at the camp, it makes me want to laugh out loud. One like, look at me, and the Lou Dame will forget all about that sad apple. How will the chick be able to resist me? I'll get everything he's got coming and more. When Private Birch slips through that door, crash your clubs down upon his head, and hard. You understand? Yes, Soul City Lou. As you command. I've wasted days listening to that fool's idiotic chatter, but today when he talks, we will learn what we want to know. Long live Red Korea! Long live Red Korea! The prey approaches. All right. What will happen now? Just knock. Why knock? I'll just amble in, pucker up the lips, and wait. Clunk bonk. No! What is it, Soul City Lou? You look dismayed. You have cold conked the wrong GI. Then who is the homely one? A stupid, egotistical fool named Sergeant Mulvaney. He is even more revolting than the doll to be expected. Tough luck. Could it be that the sergeant may be acquainted with the words of wisdom we seek? A splendid suggestion, Schnucko. Revive him. Awaken, dog. Hey, what's this all about? It means you talk, tell us military information, or you'll never talk again, or what? It's a true story, ladies and gentlemen. I get it, you're spies. You played Joe Birch and me for saps. Do you think I would have anything to do with either of you otherwise? But enough of idle chatter. Answer me, Sergeant. How many men are in your unit? And when are you expecting more reinforcements? In the first place, I don't know. And in the second place, you Korean Matahari, I wouldn't tell you if I did know. Rough him up. Ow! Look out, you guys! You'll twist off my fucking arm. Precisely our intention. Meanwhile, not an MP in sight. Now, if I could only get to Lou before. Oh, what are you doing to Sergeant Lavaney? What gives here? Caesar! Come here, wench. Hands off, 8-man. Oh, this'll teach you not to manhandle a lady. Pardon my manners. Ooh. Just sit down next to your chums, Lou. Don't try to pull anything. I've never hit a lady yet. G.I. Joe, I've been outwitted by a private. What strategy? And so you save the whole blooming army. And how do they show their gratitude? They just slap you in the stockade just because you broke one measly little rule, caught out of uniform. Colonel Ironsides has promised I'll get out in at least 90 years. Oh my goodness. What now? It looks like a different artist on this story. Let's see what else we've got going on back at the index. See what other books we can read. See if we got 7 people watching. No one's commented. Let's see. Let's stop the sound effects. Okay. What shall we read next? Any ideas? Yeah, let's read this one. National Comics number 7. If you guys know of a place to read old comics online, this one doesn't seem like it has that many. National Comics number 7. Uncle Sam smashes the invading legions of a mad dictator. Also a gripping adventure with Quicksilver Merlin, Kid Patrol, and many others. Oh, this artwork is fantastic. Yes, indeed. Wow. This is from 1941, National Comics number 7. It looks like the artwork inside is a little blurry. This beautiful desk for only $1. I like those metal desks. They're very industrial looking. Let's see if the artwork is going to be this blurry inside. Yeah, that looks like shit. I'd like to read this. It's from the Eisner sweatshop. Let's see. Let's get one with Plastic Man. Oh yes, let's read Plastic Man. All right. Okay. Winter issue number 6, Plastic Man brings you thrills, woozy the laughs. Plastic Man brings you thrills, woozy the laughs. All right. 9.8, you can see just a few little flaws. This is not considered a flaw by CGC. See, the staples are still holding on. Pretty good condition. So I'm sure this will get me a 9.8 condition verdict from the geniuses at CGC. Come on, go to the next page. Oh, let's see what we got here. Do you want spending money, pals? Sell these popular patriotic and religious mottos. Send us no money in advance. Just write and ask us to send you 40 of these beautiful glittering mottos, which the public likes so well. Sell them easily and quickly to your friends and neighbors for only 35 cents each. At the end of 14 days, send back if you wish all mottos you have not sold and send us only 25 cents for each you have sold. You keep all the rest of the money. You sell 25, you keep $2.50. If you sell 30, what you keep $3. If you sell all 40, you keep $4. Remember, no money is needed in advance. You take no risk. Let's see what they say. Mother God took the sunshine from the skies and made the love light in your eyes. Oh, brother. And you got the Lord's Prayer. Yeah, how could someone not pay 35 cents for these amazing signs? Winter 1947. So this is after the war years. It's Normal, Illinois. Normal, Illinois. Any of you watching live in Normal, Illinois? Plastic Man. Help, Plas, the heat's killing me. Don't gripe, Lizzie. It's no worse than freezing to death. Such cactus. They're never satisfied. Plastic Man is always ready to do a lot of progress, but when the Moon Wizard starts experimenting, it's enough time to make even the India rubber men's blood run cold. My latest invention, and it ought to do the trick. All I have to do is catch a hunk of Plastic Man in this and cut him to ribbons. That's Scientific Sherman's foolproof counterfeiting machine. There goes the last bolt. It's finished. Easy with that hammer, Sherman. You're upsetting me. Plastic Man. Sure, it isn't Little Red Riding Hood. You know, Sherman, your inventions are disgusting. I'll do you in yet, Plastic Man. There must be a way. Maybe, but that isn't it, sucker. What? Bottoms up. And think about the evil life you lead and where it'll get you. Because while there's nothing specific I can charge you with in the moment, I'll catch you red-handed one of these days and put you in the clink for life. Later, I gotta walk until I cool off or I'll blow my top. Such shame, such humiliation. Plastic Man's made a monkey out of me and I can't live on the same earth with him and be happy. I've gotta get rid of him. It's amazing. You're the perfect Moon Man type. I ought to know people don't call me Professor Breen, the Moon Wizard, for nothing. You don't say. You must do it for the sake of science. Soon I shall be ready to check the effects of the atmospheric conditions of the moon on Earth. Man, you're just the person I need to make the test. I am? Sounds good. What's in it? Some boogers got on the comic, but that's okay. It's still 9.8. Yes, this comic was once owned by one of those kids that eats his own boogers. Yes, and some of the boogers got on the page way back in 1947. They're vintage boogers. What's in it? A chance to be the first man to know how it feels to visit the moon. And you talk of money. Besides, I'm doing this work as a contribution to the government. I couldn't pay you. No deal. An assignment like that's worth plenty. All the mercenary, small-minded, narrow people. Breen, the Moon Wizard and Plastic Man's sidekick. It fills me with ideas and angles. The nerve of the guy wanting me to do that job for nothing. Don't be hard on him. Lots of scientists are like that. They have no they have no idea of the value of money. There's a couple of thousand to do the job. Let's go tell the Moon Wizard you'll go to the moon for him. Oh boy, that is talk I like to hear. Come on, go. Did you say go to the moon? Hey, let's talk this over. What an inspiration. For a few $1,000, I gain entrance into the impregnable fortress laboratory built by the government for the Moon Wizard. And at the same time, I have woozy winks to lure Plastic Man into it. Somewhere among the Moon Wizard's amazing inventions, I'll find something against which Plastic Man won't be invincible, and then it'll be curtains for him. Here we are. Now, be nice to Professor Breen. Motherfucker. Shit. Fuck. Where am I? Shit. Hmm. Okay, cut sucker. All right, here we go. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, technical snafu. So it's you. What do you want? Don't be mad, Professor. I've just changed my mind. I think, my dear boy, I should have known your heart was in the right place. You just needed time to think it over. Sure. That's how it was. And this is how it is with you. Oh! Meanwhile, I'm worried about Professor Breen, Plastic Man. I'm sure nobody can break into his laboratory, and yet I'd feel safer if you were keeping an eye on the place. Right. Don't let Professor Breen know you're there, though. He doesn't want anybody protecting him. Leave it to me. Into the Moon Wizard's laboratory. There, that ought to land him somewhere in the basement if he isn't dead already. He will be in a few days, and now I'll be the Moon Wizard. What you're doing ain't legal. Shut up and stay here. Now what's this? It's the moon and a rocket that'll reach it. Would you let me leave for 2 grand? It's too cold for human life on the moon. What a place to get rid of Plastic Man. But first, we'll try it out on you. Honest, I don't doubt it's cold up there. I believe you. You don't have to prove a thing to me. Help! That came from the laboratory. It seems to be the Moon Wizard. It seems the Moon Wizard isn't as alone as we thought. Help! Happy landing, stupid. Who's he? What's the Moon Wizard doing with him? Pardon the intrusion, Professor Breen, but Scientific Sherman wakes us off to the How did you get here? What did you do to Professor Breen? Now, Plastic Man, don't be hasty. I won't. I'll take you apart as slowly as you like. Handy, handy things. These smaller rockets. What clump? Oh, and I thought I was going to get it. I was going to. God, fuck you. Oh, and I thought I was going to have a tough time getting you into this fix. You can't get out, Plastic Man. The inside of the rocket is a vacuum. That's what made it so easy to get you in. Only the atmosphere of the moon can release you. The moon? Sure, take a look. Your pal's freezing to death up there right now. How about that? Buy protein snack bars. Why, no thank you, ladies and gentlemen. He can't stand that cold much longer. I've got to do something to help him. Yeah, yeah, motherfucker. My God. Go ahead, do your best. You're going up there anyway. Ha! That cold will certainly take the stretch out of you. Blast you. Something funny about this. It took only a few seconds to get here. It is easy to get out of this rocket up here. Sherman was right. Laz, we gotta get off of here. I catch a cold up here. I certainly like to leave myself, but how? This is wonderful. This is the greatest moment in my life. What a show. It's too good to keep to myself. I'll call up Mabel. I'll call up Mabel and have her come over. Sure, Mabel, I wouldn't want you to miss it, but hurry, they won't be alive much longer. Mabel. After the arrival of Mabel, isn't it a sight for sore eyes? Think of it. You and I are the only two people in the world privileged to watch the great Plastic Man freeze to death. Yeah, sure, it's terrific. That's the way I ought to feel, but I don't. I've been mixed up with the underworld all my life, so I ought to be glad to see Plastic Man kick off. But I'm feeling rotten about the whole thing. I'm letting you go, Mabel, because I think you're not really bad. See to it that you don't get in any more trouble. He could have set me up for 20 years that time he caught me with the Moley gang after the bank job. And that time the Dinker mob had me on the spot and I tried to end it all. He rescued me and talked me out of suicide. Sherm, I can't enjoy watching Plastic Man suffering from this distance. I want to be up there on the moon with him, where I can look on at close range. Can you fix it so I won't freeze? Things nobody else can do are a cinch for me, Mabel. I'm the moon wizard now. Remember, this automatic heating apparatus will keep you warm up there until you're ready to come down. When you've had enough, use the rocket radio and I'll get you down. Then you can tell me how it feels to be up on the moon. You're a swell guy to let me do this, Sherm. Looks like more company. Nothing can thaw me out now. I'm done for now, Plaz, old friend. Mabel, the moocher. How did you get up here? Never mind that, Plastic Man. I'm going to save you. Here, this'll warm you. I don't think I need it now. Why, that ratty babe went up there to help him. I might have known couldn't trust the dame. So they're licking the cold with the heating apparatus. The saps, all I have to do is pull this lever and they'll fall right off the moon and crash to their deaths. Yes, indeed. Oh, shut up, you fucking pigs. No. Yeah, that's what they'll say. All right. Okay, where am I at here? Sorry. There. Rock. It didn't throw them off. The moon. It didn't throw them off the moon at all. It's throwing the whole moon at the earth. As at the rate this moon is dropping, we'll crash into the earth and blow every human to bits, including ourselves. Almost appears that way. Unless I can do something about it. Plastic Man, you can't put on enough pressure to prevent the crash. Nobody's strong enough. Oh, that's the girl. Plastic Man, you can't put on enough pressure to prevent the crash. Nobody's strong enough to do that. I wouldn't be either if this were the real moon. He's superhuman. He's keeping the moon from crashing. I'm getting out of here. It's no use even trying to lick a guy like that. Yeah, you better not be licking any guys, man. All right. Just a minute, Sherm. Help! Where did you hide Professor Green? I pitched him down the basement chute, Plaz. I only tried. Keep still and go get him. What's going on? Who knocked me out? Let's discuss it later, Professor. Right now, I want you to fix it so the moon will stay in place. Fix it? Well, I should say so. If that ever crashes down here, it'll cost the government $1 million in repairs. There, that'll hold it. Good. Now I'll lift my friends off it. But Plaz, how did you figure out it wasn't the real moon? Well, Lizzie, everybody knows the Moon Wizard can duplicate the planets and their climates in his lab. He's famous for it. Besides, if the moon was going to crash into the Earth, I'd have nothing to lose by trying to save us, would I? And the scientific mind like mine was fooled. Wow, that was a interesting story, ladies and gentlemen. What would be a good book to read? I bet nobody's watching. Oh, there's some people watching. Man Bear Pig says, did I miss any new spec books? No, they're old spec books. Holocaust, so Happy New Year. Oh, yes, I haven't even said Happy New Year to all of you. Eric Green says, Professor Breen is the black sheep of the family. Where is a good archive of? I'm on comicweb.com. It's the only one it's the first one I found. I'd like to read that Killers comic book from. Let's read Zipjet #1. Oh yes, this looks great. Fantastic brain destroyers, Zipjet, supersonic enemy of evil. Yeah, that's pretty good. Iron Fisted Justice. How to hypnotize. It's easy to hypnotize when you know how. Want the thrill of imposing your will over someone? Of making someone do exactly what you order? Try hypnotism. This amazing technique gives full personal satisfaction. You'll find it entertaining and gratifying. The master key to hypnotism shows all you need to know. It is put so simply anyone can follow it. And there are 24 revealing photographs for your guidance. Send no money. Free 10-day examination of this system is offered to you if you send the coupon today. We will ship you our copy by return mail in plain wrapper. If not delighted with the results, return it in 10 days and your money will be refunded to MK Ultra HH62 in New York. All right, let's see. This we're dealing with Volume 1, #1 of Zipjet from February 1953. Yes, we're in the Atom Age of comics. Yeah, man. He needs to eat more. He's a little thin. Terror strikes the turnpike. Tack Carson, the first human to fly at supersonic speed with only a small jet engine on his back, outraces fast highway freight trucks and bullets in defiance of a terrorist gang. But the odds favor evil, and Tack and his pretty lab assistant are gambling with fate when they tangle with the Cutrelli mob. I can't do girl voices very well. Hunk Cutrelli, ex-boss of Pier Rackets, was applying his brutal talents to a new field. Here's your cut of the payoff bumps. I'll finger another job tonight. Swell, boss. We got a perfect setup. The cops must be going nuts. Yeah, they'll never catch us. They'll never catch up with us because we never strike near the last spot. Keep your lips buttoned. You bet I ain't talking my way into a murder rap. Life's too sweet with the gravy we're getting. Indeed. That night, a battered sedan slipped to a That night, a battered sedan slipped to a trucker's stop on a turnpike. Hunk was seen leaving the car. Steve hears the drivers talking about their loads. I've got him greased. He'll cooperate. Any valuable cargo pulled in here yet, Steve? Yeah, Hunk, a big job loaded with cigs. I'll spike their job up. The victims had no inkling of the plot against them. An Atlas hitch crashed on Route 4 last night. Driver fell asleep. That's what they think. He might have lost control. He died without knowing who hijacked his load. On the house, Steve? Thanks, you're a real pal. I know how to treat good customers right, fella. Good luck on your haul. Steve's generosity bore sinister fruit 3 miles up the pike. Me too, Joe. I can hardly keep my eyes open. Look, what's that ahead? Red lights dancing on the highway, or a reflection. Watch out, Joe, you're going to crash them. Brakes won't hold. Brace yourself. I'm turning off. With a rumbling crash, the macadam monster tore through rocks and trees to disaster. Within seconds, another van drew up. Don't forget, boss, we got to make this look like a legit salvage transfer so passing motorists won't tip the cops. Yeah, come on, get busy. Next morning, Tech Carson, inventor of the zip jet engine, decided to enter the probe into the hijack crashes. Think twice, Tech. We'll be going against a clever and ruthless mob. We can trap them, Pat. We can get on their trail. Our jets fly faster than bullets. Police took a dying statement from the driver. He felt sleepy and turned to avoid dancing red lights. Drunk, perhaps. Tonight we'll follow the route he took. At 9 o'clock that night, I have a hunch the mob is getting bold and will strike on the turnpike again. This is their starting point. They'll pick a truck going east this time. Question that driver. Hey, boss, ain't that Zip Jet? We got to get rid of him fast. Don't get jumpy, Bumps, and watch how I handle him. The cops are doing their best, Zip Jet, but we'll appreciate anything you can do to smash the racket. Tech, I don't like the look of this pair. Jets blasting Tech World to meet the newcomers. Shut your mouth. Yeah, right. Right. Jets blasting Tech World to meet the newcomers. Keep your hands in sight. Who are you two? Is a jet. We're investigating for the Highway Freight Council. We're baiting a trap for the mob. We're sending out a van loaded with white wall tires. We think they'll hit it at the washout east of the junction. Okay, mister. We'll be on hand for the fireworks. You really think that truck is a decoy? Can't tell yet. Let's get the bird's eye view of what develops down there. Streaking into the dark sky, Tech and Pat drift down with their exhaust brakes checking their rate of descent. The pair thinks we headed for the junction, but look, they're arguing with the driver. Well, look how their bodies stick over the bottom panels. That's pretty good. Someone they someone really devoted attention to the female body here. I want to see what goes on inside the diner. Keep a close watch on the truck. Someone may try to tamper with the air brakes. No one can go near it without my seeing them. Tech, watch out for yourself. Their legs are all over these panels. Steve is spiking the driver's coffee. That truck isn't a decoy. Those two are pulling a fast one. Look who's minding our business. You know too much to be left for later, Zip Jet. Nobody will notice you till we come back for your body. That Zip Jet doll must have beat it for the junction. We'll take her easy. Bumps left Zip Jet for dead and swung around to join Hunk, who was coming out with the driver. Don't be nervous, pal. There's nothing to worry about with us riding behind you. Yeah, I won't stop for nothing, Mr. Brown. You'll have trouble keeping up with me. So you cracked Zip Jet's skull. Good. Tell Steve to roll him into the cellar. We got to start moving after that jerk. Remember, when the Zip Jet doll shows her face, empty your rod at her. But as the hoodlums took off after the truck, Steve met an unpleasant surprise. What the? Bucks told me he was cold turkey. And you were goose enough to believe him. Okay, Steve, let's see you duck this fist. 60 seconds later, Tech zipped off, leaving Steve helpless. What a beating he gave me. The highway cops will take me before I can get off this hook. Arrest this man for murder. Zip Jet. What's up? The driver is weaving crazily. He may crash at any moment. And what happened to Pat? No sign of her. There he goes. And it was my fault. I should have swooped down and taken the wheel. But I've got a surprise for the hoodlums in that car. Zip Jet, you told me you conked him. How did he get here? No, boss. That ain't him. It's the Zip Jet doll. Pump her full of lead. You were inside the van. The driver was crushed behind the wheel and the motor is on fire. Watch it. We're the target for a pair of 45s. They whipped behind the van so fast I missed them. Work around the other side, Bumps. We're sunk if we don't rub out those two, boss. They're fast and tricky. In the shadows beyond the ditch, Tech and Hunk surprised each other. No, you don't, fella. I've got 500 pounds of thrust on my shoulders. He's coming up on me. How can he do it? You ought to know. Haven't you read about me in the papers? Ask anyone when you come in the prison, when you come to in the prison ward. Oh, Pat made short of Hunk's murderous henchman. I'm too fast for your 45, killer. Go for it again and I'll smash you. Sirens. Highway patrol. Why you? Ow, my wrist. Sure, it's Zip Jet. Good thing we didn't wait at the diner. Watch it, Jim. The hoods may try to shoot their way out there. They've got nothing more to lose. The Tech and Pat needed no help. You made headlines again, Zip Jet. How did you get on Hunk Catrelli's trail? We never suspected him. Oh, is that his right name? Well, to tell the truth, we had a hunch they'd strike on this pike again in the opposite direction. All right. That was the amazing story. Let's see. Let's find some other. Oh, we have 5 people watching. Oh, yes, indeed. Here's the link if anyone wants to come on. I'm probably on against some incredible sports games. I bet. Okay. Here's the link if you'd like to come on. And I'm not really feeling this today. I'm not doing a good job, I don't think. And I hate it when I have to do a woman's voice. Let's see. Voodoo, 1954. Car burning oil, engineer's discovery stops it quick without a set for mechanical repairs. Hmm. Now you can fly a real jet plane, a real balsa wood jet plane. Yeah, see, genuine balsa wood. Man, they used to sell those right up into the 70s in the 7-Eleven. You wind them up with a propeller with a rubber band. But it has a jet engine, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Uh, uh, let's see what else they got. It's Outer Space from 1958, issue 18. How to gain up to 50 pounds of mighty muscles. Okay. Steve Ditko art. Have they lost? Is a page missing or something? Where's the beginning of the story? Uh, the Lightning Comics #1 looks like. Oh man, it's got the Raven, Marvo, Ace McCoy, and X the Phantom Fed. The Phantom Fed. Oh, this looks pretty good. Flash Lightning. In mystic Egypt, the old man of the pyramids bestowed upon Flash Lightning all the speed, strength, and power of lightning with which to go out in the world and fight on the side of justice and right. The old man of the pyramids calls on lightning. A murderous gang of river pirates are terrorizing the waterfront, robbing warehouses and killing watchmen. They must be stopped, flashed lightning. I'll go to work on them, sire. In a few seconds, I'll be at the waterfront. Some kind of trouble over there. I tell you, men, now's the time to crack down and win our demands. Ray, Ray. Warehouse watchmen striking. Wonder where they're going now. All right, boys, let's go get the traitor. That mob is worked up to a mean pitch. They're apt to do anything. I'll hop up here and see what they're up to. I'll give you one more chance. Will you join the watchman's strike? No, Wagner. No, Wagner. And don't try any rough stuff. Okay, kid, then you get the business. Stop! You can't get away with this. We'll show 'em, boys. Wreck the warehouse. Time for me to butt in. I'll call the police. Wait, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. What's this all about? I'm Mary Lee. My father, a watchman, was shot by river pirates when I took Dad's place and refused to join up with that phony organizer, Wagner. They're wrecking the warehouse by the sound of it. I'd better stop them. Look at him go, so big and strong. Stop, men. You'll only get yourselves into trouble. Go right ahead, boys. I'll take care of this busybody. Don't listen to that agitator, men. And if you have any dispute with your bosses, settle it quietly. I'll shut him up. That case of canned goods will murder him. Shit. But lightning is unhurt. So Wagner likes to throw things, does he? Here's where you get canned, Wagner. He's a crazy man. Let me out. Help, I'm buried. And I'm not finished yet. You're going to be a crook on a hook. Someone get me down. I hope you watchmen will listen to me now. Did you see the strength of this guy? Let's see what he has to say. And that's the story of how Joe Biden took over the mob. I mean, over the unions. Hold on. Fuck! Ah! Son of a bitch. Ah! What happened? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what I'm doing. What? Shut up, bitch. Mm, okay. Nobody's watching. 4 people. I might just cut this stream. Let's say, here we are. All right, back to the action. Why don't you men call a meeting tonight and have the warehouse owners there and settle this business in a peaceful manner? That's a good idea. We must have been crazy to listen to Wagner, whatever the fuck his name is. Come on, gang, let's repair some of the damage. Mary Lee is gone. I'll go to her home and talk to her father. Lightning learns Mary Lee's address from one of the watchmen and reaches there in a few seconds. I have an idea. There's more to this business than just a watchman's strike. I'm Flash Lightning, sir. I'm looking for Miss Mary Lee. I'm her father. Mary's at work now. There was some trouble down at the warehouse and Mary left. I thought she had come home. I'm worried about Mary Lightning. The night I was shot, I recognized the leader of the river pirates as Katz Romelt, a former dock stevedore, who was fired for thefts. Romelt hates warehouse owners, cops, and watchmen. If he suspects I recognized him, my life or Mary's won't be worth a penny. I wonder if there's any connection between Romelt and Wagner, who is leading the Lightning, a bomb, look out! Oh. A bomb. What will happen? Got it. I'll give this thing a fast round trip. Evil always boomerangs. Unfortunately, there's probably someone in that car. Oh, there was, yes. But they're perfectly okay, of course. We better scram back to the garbage dump hideaway. Two of the bomb throwers lived. I can't let them get away. Down you go. We're caught. It's a very easy to read comic book. Here are the lads who caused the explosion, officer. Sure, and they must be nuts blowing up their own car. Those thugs mentioned a garbage dump. What if they meant the one down by the docks? Lightning reaches the dump. This is the place, all right, and they have Mary Lee a prisoner. This is from 1940. This is pre-war, or pre the U.S. involvement in the war. Inside the hut, these starved alley cats have had their claws dipped in poison. Unless you side in with the strikers, I let them go. I don't care. I refuse to go in with you crooks. Okay, babe, here they come. Shoot him down. Mind if I cut in on your pet's rump? That guy again. Flash Lightning. That's right, cats. You needed a manicure. You must have steel skin. Let's beat it, Chief. You forgot something, boys. Oh, shit. Your father told me Katz Romelt is head of the river pirates. What's the connection between them and the strike? The river pirates are behind the strike, Lightning. I overheard Romelt and Wagner talking. They're fixing the strike so that there'll be no watchmen around. Then they're going to make a grand raid on the warehouses that will net them nearly $1 million. We've got to prevent that somehow. I also heard that they have some secret hideout around the waterfront where they work from and hide the loot. Here they come. We'll see if they can stop machine gun fire. Duck, Mary, you fellows never learn, do you? Nothing stops him. I'm breezing. Those playthings of yours. And that back, you motherfucker. Thank goodness you're all right. I'm sorry. Thank goodness you're all right, Lightning. What are you doing? These crooks want their guns back, so I'll oblige. Where are we going now? To get your dad to talk to the watchman at the meeting tonight. The other watchmen respect and admire you, Mr. Lee. Will you tell them that they're being used as fuck? Oh man, how does this work? When you tell them that they're being used as cat's paws for the river pirates, they'll listen and come to their senses. We'll tell them, Mary, won't we? You bet, Dad. Oh, that night. That should have been up here. Oh well. I hate to think what would happen if you dropped this lightning. He won't, Dad. You don't know lightning. Here we are now. If you can talk the watchmen out of their strike, the river pirates won't be able to pull their big job. Let's go in. I like this coloring, the way they create the look of nighttime with these shades of green and purple. It's really effective. We have a special speaker. What the fuck? You have a special speaker tonight, man. He's going to set you straight on some things. Why, it's old Tom Lee. So you see, man, the strike is part of a plan by the river pirates to clean out the warehouses. Are you going to be the pawns of thieving cutthroats? No, no, back to our jobs. Hooray for Tom Lee. But at that moment outside the meeting hall, I'm glad I installed a dictograph in the meeting hall. So they're going to cross us up, are they? They don't know Katz Romelt, eh, boss? Katz Romelt. Yeah, I like the coloring in this. Back inside the meeting hall. Let's get to the warehouse and prepare for the river pirates. Good work, Mr. Lee. When I open the truck doors, get out of the way fast. There, go to it, my pets. Mad cats, get back. Look, this is Romelt's work. My gosh. Those cats all have poison claws. There's only one thing that can stop them, and that's a lightning bolt. Lightning spoiled that plan too, but we'll go ahead and clean out the warehouses anyhow. A couple of the cats escaped. I'd better get them. I've never seen cats used as weapons before. Hmm. Romelt ought to be ashamed of himself, starving these poor animals until they're a menace to humans. I'll turn these over to the SPCA. The other ones I fried with lightnings. Maybe he should report himself to the SPCA. Careful, men. Their claws have been dipped in poison. Is he handsome to them? Oh, they've got gloves on at least. Yeah, police carry gloves just for in case they have to handle a poison cat. To the docks, men. We'll fix the pirates for this. Lightning and the watchmen rush on. There they are. If we attack in a mass, they'll cut us down. Scatter first. Here comes Flash, Lightning, and the watchmen. Feed 'em lead, boys. But before Romelt's men can fire, the watchmen close in. The battle is on. Here's some swing music for you to dance to. The boys are taking a licking, Wagner. We got a moose. Actually, it said they never started firing. Right, boss. We'll get to the hideout and they'll never find us. Look, Romelt and Wagner. Shit. Where the fuck am I? It never was this hard to read a real comic book. These computerized comic books, man, they're horrible. Look, Romelt and Wagner are getting away. I know, and I let them escape purposefully. Why did you do that? You'll see. The only way I can find the river pirates' hideout and recover all the loot they've stolen is to follow them. They're heading for shore, but I don't see where. Then Lightning witnesses a strange thing. When I get the tunnel open, run her in and we'll make a clean getaway. Shut up and hurry. Shut up and hurry. That's right, man. Shut up and hurry. Yes, indeed. Shut up and hurry. Hold on. Sorry, I'm recuing the music. What? What a hideout this is. Then they cover the tunnel again and No one would think of looking in a sewer tunnel for them. Pretty clever. Their cleverness does them no good this time. I should have guessed that these river rats would have their headquarters in a sewer. It's that pest in that fancy outfit again. He's as strong as 100 men and bullets. Don't and bullet. He's as strong as 100 men and bullets don't kill him. What you gonna do, boss? We'll see how he likes harpoons. Harpoons, eh? Sidestep and fast catch, and now for some fun. He must be made of iron. No use fighting that guy. Let's run for it. I'll bend this into a circle and then play quoits. How the hell do you pronounce that? Quoits? A ringer. What the? Happy dreams, water rats. The rest are heading for a manhole up there, but this will stop. We're blocked off. Go back. We'll have to fight that madman. Let's beat him with some rocks. Put those down before you get hurt. God. Come on. Move. What? Am I going forward or backward? Oh, here we are. Oh, no. Oh, here we are. This will make a good bat. Nice pitching, boys. Let's rush him. This story goes on forever, man. They're really giving you your 10 cents worth. Come and get it. You thugs are getting too hot headed, so I'll have to cool you off. Ouch, you're breaking my neck. I guess they swallowed enough water to keep them quiet. It's good to get out of that sewer. Well, a few minutes later, I'm afraid we'll have to part company, boys. First cup we meet. That's a break for me. I've had enough of you, Lightning. Here's some of the river pirates who've been causing all the trouble. Well, cut off me brass buttons. Am I seeing things? You ain't seen nothing. You ought to see that guy fight. That's probably the end of the story, maybe. Or is it? Oh, no, there's more. What? Is this the next page? What? I have no idea. No, I think I skipped something. This doesn't seem right. Okay, I don't know. That's supposed to be the next page. All right. Austin, Rommelt, and Wagner up to join their comrades and then get this safe full of loot up where it can be opened. This safe holds all the loot the river pirates stole. How are we going to get it out? That's simple enough. Jumping Ghost, I never would have believed it. Here comes Mary Lee and her father and the others. They must have heard the excitement. I'm so glad you're safe, Lightning. I guess this is the end of the river pirates, so I'll be getting along. Come back, there's 5,000 reward for those crooks. Give it to Miss Lee and her father. He's swell. As lightning speeds away, a sudden storm comes up. Well done, Flash Lightning. I was glad of the chance to smash evil, sire. Another big Flash Lightning thriller in the next issue. Wonder who the next hero is here. Oh, it's the Raven. Huh, I didn't know there was a superhero called the Raven. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's see what people are talking about here. Agra 2, Apex Comics says, Lash Lightning, is this from Internet Archive or Comic Book Plus? Maybe I know I don't know those sites. Flashlight. I'm looking at what is it? It's called. I was hoping someone would tell me this is called comicweb.com, and they have other stuff on here. They have TV and old movies and old time radio, and I don't know. What are the other good sites? You said Internet Archive, Comic Book Plus. Let's try Comic Book Plus. Comic Book Plus. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I remember this site. I used to look at this site years ago. Maybe this is better as long as it's free. Let's see. Is there a search? What is this bullshit? Um, the Killers. Oh, do they actually have this? Is the book I wanted to read. This looks like a much better website than the one I was on. I don't know if this is going to work though. Oh, okay. So how do I get to it? It's trying to sell me ugly shoes, man. Oh, here it is. Excellent. The Killers. This is the one I wanted to read. I've always wanted to read this book since I first saw it in the comic book price guide back in 1976. They broke the ancient law, thou shalt not kill. That's very good that they have a Bible verse on the front of this comic book. Killers 3 by Gardner F. Fox. Nicholas the Apache crept along the slime-wet sewer ledge deep under the streets of Paris. In his right hand was a long-bladed knife. It glimmered in the dim moonlight filtering down through a grill high above. Ahead of him, a shadow moved. Nicholas crouched back against the wet sewer wall. He lifted his knife. He comes now, Le Cochon, the pig. On him I will blood my knife, my little Georgette. The man came forward, cried out, but Nicholas was already leaping. His arm swept down, the long steel blade buried itself in the throat of the screaming man. There was a gurgle of hot blood. The man's eyeballs rolled back. He slumped. His body fell lifeless to the edge of the ledge. Nicholas bent over the man. He snarled, Peste! One more killing to my credit. This makes number 24. Calmly, he wiped his bloody knife on the coat of the dead man, gave him a kick with his foot. He stood like a statue, hearing the faint splash of the body as the body hit the water, and was slowly carried on by the sluggish flow out to sea. Eddie Mack patted the barrel of his short barreled Tommy gun affectionately. He looked out of the window of the cab that carried him through the Parisian streets. He grinned to himself, put his Tommy gun back into the violin case, and lighted a cigarette. 10 grand, he mused. That's not bad enough, Eddie boy. Just for pumping a few lead jackets into a guy. It's a lot of moolah, but okay, this is a different guy, isn't it? 10 grand, he mused. That's not bad enough, Eddie boy. That's not bad dough, Eddie boy, just for pumping a few lead jackets into a guy. It's a lot of moolah, as a matter of fact. It means plenty of good rye and lots of lamb chops. Mac thrust back his sleeve, peered at his wristwatch in the light of a street lamp. 9:27. Just in time to catch the G coming out of his apartment. He leaped forward and tapped on the cab window. I'll get out here, bud. You keep on going. I'm going to jump. He shoved a 50 franc note into the driver's hand. The driver whistled and shrugged. If the passenger wanted to risk his neck, that was all right by him. Eddie Mack jumped. He ran a few steps to maintain his balance, then faded into the shadows. In the darkness, he lifted out his Tommy gun and patted it. 10 grand, he chuckled, and focused his eyes on the apartment doorway. A man came out, paused to light a cigarette. Eddie Mack stared at the red carnation in his buttonhole. That's him, breathed Eddie Mack, and lifted his Tommy gun. He cited briefly his expert finger touched the trigger. Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat. The man with the red carnation folded in two as though he were made of paper. Red stains sprang to life across his white shirt front. Blood spurted. His knees buckled and he went down to sprawl grotesquely on the sidewalk. A police whistle, pardon me. A police whistle shrilled. Eddie Mack took one last look at his victim, turned and sped away into the night. Incense rose and floated from the little bronze Buddha on the table. Ling Fu sniffed it appreciatively, supple yellow fingers sliding along the silken cord that drooped in his hands. He turned toward the radio that looked out of place in the oriental luxury of his rooms. Newsflash! Newsflash! The prominent attorney Marcel Debrouf was shot down and killed by an unknown assailant at 9:36 this evening. Ling Fu smiled happily. He murmured, "One of them gone. Now, if Nicholas has done his job too, the rich Soulard estate will be mine. My brother Paul, taken care of by Nicholas. My uncle Marcel Debrouf, already dead." A girl entered the room carrying a tray. She said in a whining voice, "Does Monsieur Debrouf wish anything else?" Ling Fu whirled. His black eyes narrowed. He spat. "How many times must I tell you to call me Ling Fu, you scatterbrained idiot?" The girl shrank back, frightened. She whispered, seeing him stroke the silken cord. He advanced on her, silently, across the oriental rug. He smiled cruelly. "You blah, blah, fucker have been in my employ a long time. Motherfucker, know I pose as a Chinese mandarin on my peculiar skin and facial formation. Know, too, that as an Oriental, I secure wealth by, ridding the world of god motherfuckers, dangerous to various world fuck garments. Hey, you know all that. Monsieur, for the love of le bon Dieu, please, not the cord, not the..." The doorbell shrilled. Ling Fu straightened, glared coldly at the trembling girl. He smiled. "Answer the bell, Marie. You are safe with me as long as you remember who I am." Yes, your highness." Nicholas the Apache stood in the doorway for only an instant. Then he was gliding snake-like out of the hotel corridor and into the room. His nostrils twitched as he smelled the incense. His rat-like features lighted as he saw Ling Fu. "I got him. And I told you I would. Paul, continue on inside back cover." Okay, great. I don't want to go to the back cover. Oh, okay. Now we're talking. Scott Hunter of the CID meets Dr. Zen, the hatchet killer. You are staring into the cold, glaring eyes of the most brutal, cold-blooded killer ever to terrorize the streets of London. This man's control of the London underworld was at its peak when a daring, two-fisted CID detective took charge of the case of the frightened informers. On a cold, foggy evening in London near Cannon Row Police Station. Okay, what voice is it? Who is this guy? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of voice to give him. "Got to make Cannon Row before I missed at the club. There's a blinking auto in back of me. Could it be? It is the Limey." Oh, he's a Limey. "It is the Limey. I told you that petty thief was not to be trusted. Pull in close." "Perfect throw, Tong. I have no place in my organization for traitors." "Yeah." "Halt! That Bobby, he witnessed the killing. Run him down." Well, this is very, let's see what happens next. Roaring into high gear, the driver of the murder car deliberately slams into the helpless Bobby. "Halt! Ah!" He isn't moving. "Splendid. Now drive me back to the club, Yang." "Yes, Mr. Zen." "I wish to check the whereabouts of a few other trusted colleagues." Later, in the comfortable quarters of CID, Detective Scott Hunter and his friend, lawyer Cortland Palmer Broadstreet. "Blast it, Court. That murder at Cannon Row prevented us from obtaining information that might have led to quick apprehension of the so-called Mr. Zen. Too bad the Bobby that was run down didn't live to describe the occupants of the car. I doubt the poor chap had time to see anyone. and all of the cutthroat Zen is taken into his organization. Uh, Only a few are believed to know his true identity. You believe his men will inform on him for the £1,000 reward the Yard has posted? Judge for yourself. First, an anonymous call revealing Zen's name, then the men at Cannon Row, and if someone at the door. Next. Are we there? Oh, yeah, we are. How about that? Oh, my gosh. They laid the yellow on a little bit thick there, didn't they, Mr. Colorist? Yes, Mr. Hunter, I come with information. The reward, Good heavens! Oh, good heavens, Court, come here, quick! Ugh! Oh, they put a hatchet in the back of her head. She's dead. Be careful, Scott. Don't worry. Call the Yard while I try to stop the killer. As Scott Hunter flings open the street door, up there, Hal, whoa! Yee, my hand! Hang the luck only winged him. A dingy cap ain't much to show for 3 murders. Couldn't even read the license number on the car. Stolen, no doubt. Clean getaway. Find anything to identify her? Not a bloomin' thing. Sorry, old chap. An hour later at the Black Dragon, a nightclub in London's Soho district. Just as my love call is answered by you. Poppy, no, encore. Come here. Tom, you've injured my hand. Never mind that. Come with me. Mr. Zen wishes to talk to you. You 5 are the only members of my organization who know my identity. Need I warn anyone not to permit the reward money Scotland Yard has posted to encourage anyone to act as did the late Limey and poor Lotus? Ah, Tommy Ming, you wish to speak? Yes, Mr. Zen. Perhaps if our shares of the larger jobs we pull were increased, the £1,000 would not appear so tempting. Uh-oh, what's going to happen? A capital suggestion, Tommy Ming. I shall increase the shares by eliminating you. Oh, that's great. Look at that. He goes, shoots him right through the head. It's pretty outstanding. I have spent 2 years building the most powerful underworld organization London has ever seen. Tommy Ming, poor lad, lacked the one quality I demand of every member. That is complete loyalty. I trust I make myself clear. Yes, Poppy. I heard your number tonight. Your voice is enchanting, but you seem to trifle on edge. What do you mean? I'll tell you what I mean. Tong and Yang report they followed 2 women toward a CID man's flat tonight. Near his flat, one disappeared. You were late for your performance tonight. You were with Lotus Lee as she went to inform on me tonight. No, Zan, I swear I wasn't with Lotus. You know I love you. I've always been loyal to you. Enough! I know that you shall love me and shall be loyal after you've taken 12 or so lashes across your beautiful back. Yang, Quint, take her to the cellar. I shall administer her punishment myself. Fuck yeah. You, Tom, look in on our patrons out front and make certain no one heard my shot. At once, Mr. Zen. Please, Zen. My dear Poppy, you should indeed be grateful that your fate is not that of poor Lotus. All right, fat man, hold it. Look out for me! No, you don't, Chappie. Oh, yeah. I'll cut you to ribbons with I think not, Mr. Zen. Fuck. Does this work like that other page? Shit. Wow. What the fuck happened? Oh, here we are. I think not, Mr. Zen. My arm, the pain, is unbearable. You'll have time enough to recover for the hangman. Let's go. Don't shoot. Thank heaven you came. Later, I had a notion the Oriental girl murdered at our flat was an entertainer from her heavy makeup. And what with the hatchet murders and all, I guessed the Zen organization to be located in the Oriental district of Soho. I traced the girl's murderer's cap to a Soho shop, checked a few nighteries, then came upon the Black Dragon Club and the wounded hatchet man. A toast to Mr. Zen and the hangman. Not far away in a prison hospital. The fools believe me ready for the hangman. Ha! In building my organization, I considered such a possibility as this. Yes, I shall escape. And when I do, I shall personally balance my score with Scott Hunter Biden. The end. He looks a little like the Hulk, doesn't he? Let's see. What's going to happen next? John Paul Chase was, in the annals of crime, a nobody, yet in his short tragic career lies one of the most dramatic stories of the man behind the big guns of crime. For John Paul Chase was the killer behind the killer. John Paul Chase worshipped banditry. To him, the heroes of the world were judged by the number of men they had killed, by the number of dollars they had stolen. In his short tragic career lies one of the most dramatic stories of crime in the true story of the killer behind the killer. I got to test the steel vest, Chase. Someday it may save my life. I understand, babyface. Anything you say goes. A dance, a drink, and dice. A dance, drink, and dice dive in California, 1926. I just got sacked from my job, Shorty, and I'm looking for a new setup. Something with dough, big dough. Got any ideas? Yeah, I think I got something. Bootlegging. But wait, here comes the guy. Here comes the guy now. Hey, Clancy. Meet John Paul Chase. Used to drive some small town punk gambler in Reno. Wants to expand. Can you use him, Clancy? Yeah. One of my boys just stopped the Fed slug. I could use another truck driver. See me in the morning. Gee, thanks, Mr. Clancy. Chase joined the small town bootlegger, but one day, weeks later, this is the last delivery we got to make. Then we're finished. 75 this week. The boss is sure making dough. Dough, baloney. He's small fry. I'm ducking out, pal. Tomorrow I'm going in with with the top guys, the guys that are bringing the stuff into Cal. That's for me, big stuff. The storeroom of the largest liquor smugglers in the country. You're Chase, ain't you? The boss told me you were coming. I'm Fatso Negri. And this guy is Jimmy Burnett. Hi, Chase. Pull up a chair. Thanks, fellers. Don't mind if I do. Fellers. Okay. One night, several months later, I think I can trust you, Chase. I've just been hiding out with a smuggling gang till some of the heat went off. You see, my name ain't Burnett. I'm Nelson. Babyface Nelson. Babyface Nelson, the big shot killer? You're my pal. It can't be true. You'll never be sorry you trusted me, Babyface. I'd die for you. Several days later, get a load of this. Wanted for breaking jail. Babyface Nelson. And who is Nelson? Who's Babyface Nelson? Your pal Chase, Jimmy Burdett. Let me alone. I've got to go to an appointment. Appointment? It wouldn't be to Warren Nelson, would it? The apartment. You got to get moving, Babyface. Fatso spied your picture in a police mag and he spilt it to the gang. Right. Get packed, Ellen. We're pulling out. Chase, you'll hear from me in a couple of days as soon as I get settled. A hospital room in Vallejo, owned and operated by an ex-safe blower, one of the mob. I came just as soon as I got your message, Babyface. Good. Helen was operated on, but we can leave in the morning. Now here's the pitch, Chase. I'm taking you in with me as my front. Your first job is to get me a car. Get going. The following day, in the newly purchased car, we'll head for Minneapolis, and the gang. There's a price on every head you're going to meet from now on, Chase. Those are the kind of guys I want to know, Babyface. The kind of guys I want to be like. Babyface Nelson's apartment, the meeting place of cutthroats, murderers, and thieves. Boys, I want you to know John Paul Chase, my front guy, which is saying enough. Grab yourself a drink, Chase. Howdy, Chase. Hi, fella. Make yourself at home. Gee, howdy. I've always wanted to know you fellers. Later that night, pull out, Chase, and meet me at the garage in an hour. Tonight, we're doing a little job. Great? The bigger the better. Damn, how do I turn this sound off on my phone? All right. Go to the next page. Midnight. I'm going in here to pick up some negotiable bonds from an unsuspecting citizen. Keep the motor running. We may have to pull out in a hurry. I get you, babyface. Help, thief! Help! My bonds! I've been robbed! I didn't want to shoot the old fool, but he was making too much noise. We'll have to blow town. The guy was a big shot. There's going to be trouble. FBI headquarters the following morning. I saw the car the killers used. It had a California license plate number GH475. Both fellows were young. One had a real baby face. Babyface Nelson. That's who it was. Thank you for your information, Mr. Green. We are much obliged. A hurried getaway, with Chase taking all the risk. I'll take 10 gallons of gas. I'm stuck on the road. I want a tourist cabin for my family and friends. Pack the grub in a lunchbox. My family and I are going on a picnic. A safe journey across country, then Bremerton, Washington. Well, here we are, babyface, safe and sound. We'll ditch the kid with Helen's sister and head for Reno, Nevada. I got plenty of pals there. They'll keep me covered till the Minneapolis fuss blows over. All right. After a grueling drive, a gangster's hideout in Reno, Nevada. You'll be safe here, babyface. But maybe you can help us out. You see, two of our boys are in a jam. They pulled a little murder job, and there was a witness, an important witness. Get me? Yeah, sure. Give me the guy's name. He'll make a more important corpse. Several days later, there goes the important witness. Slow up, Chase, and get close to the curb. Right, boss. Give me a hand with him, Chase. We got to get him out of the city and finish him up. This guy mustn't talk ever. The outskirts of town. There, so much for the state's important witness. I changed my mind, Chase. Drop me at the railroad station. I'm getting out of Reno. Gonna join the boys in Chicago. Ditch this crate and meet me there. Okay, boss. I'll get Fatso to pick up my stuff at the hotel, and I'll beat it too. The following day at the Reno hideout. Here's your duds, Chase, like you asked. You better lay low. The whole town's buzzing with the murder of the state's witness. They say Babyface did the killing and you drove the murder car. Skip it, Fatso. You don't know nothing, see? I'm heading north to ditch the car. I'll contact you later. A used car lot in San Francisco. Sure, the car is mine. See, here's my ownership. James Rogers, that's my name. James Rogers, California. The papers seem all right. Well, here's your money, cash like you wanted it. Chicago, 2 days later. Just got in, pal. The town I just left was hotter than Hades. I get you. Better wire your fat friend to come up. We're going to need him. And come to the meeting room. Later. You're too hot to operate now, Chase. When Fatso gets here, he'll have to pick up the stuff we're going to need for the bank jobs. You'd better stick undercover. He'll be here in the morning, boss, ready and willing. Fatso hurried to Chicago, and I'll take the whole load of steel vest and every gun and bullet you got in the joint. I'm buying for the big boys now. I guess they're planning a pretty heavy program. Wish them luck for me. Nightfall behind a schoolhouse on the outskirts of Chicago. I got everything you ordered, babyface. Enough stuff for an army. I had the guy deliver it to the hideout on Center Street. Good. Pick up your stuff, boys, and wait for orders. We'll take the Merchants National Bank tonight. Merchants National Bank at South Bend, Indiana. leaving a trail of dead and dying policemen and guards. The gangsters make a safe getaway. Hideout later. We've got over $14,000, which gives each. Wait, there's an extra. Dillinger, killed by Fed Bullet. Killed by Fed Bullet. Fed's closing in on Babyface and gang. That settles it. Come, Chase. We're blowing town. Like rats in a trap, the gangsters scurry to hide out, but here's $1,000 and beat it. I've managed to fool the feds so far that I can't do it forever. Keep moving, Babyface. Reno's swarming with feds. Get going. Name your own price. We've got dough. Nothing doing. Use your brains. This is G-Man heat. Give us a break. It's Babyface. I want to protect the big shot. Big shot, huh? We don't want to lay eyes on him. This is G-Heat, man. Get it? G-Heat. With every avenue closed to them, the fugitives take to the woods. What are we going to do now, Babyface? How about going to that lake resort near Chicago where we stayed a few... No, that's a girl. How about going to that lake resort near Chicago where we stayed a few years ago? That's it. Nobody will ever think looking up for us there. Come on, let's go. Meanwhile, at Chicago headquarters of the FBI, we have men stationed at every point where Babyface and his gang are known. They're in flight now, but they're bound to turn up someplace. Approaching the lakeside resort, that guy looked at me. Maybe he's a federal. Let him have it. Right, boss? Duck your head, Helen. I'll get him, Babyface. Don't worry. They got our tires, the fuckers. Bang, bang. I got my man. I got mine. Ow, but he got me. Babyface. Oh, he's been hit. The sentence. I sentence you, Helen Gillis Nelson and Fatso Negri, to prison for the part you have taken in harboring a criminal, and you, John Paul Chase, for the murder of Inspector Sam Cowley. I sentence you to Alcatraz Penitentiary for the rest of your life. It is too bad that Special Agent Herman E. Hollis had to give his own life to exterminate that of Babyface Nelson. When will you gangsters ever learn that crime does not pay? Okay, what do we got here? Oh, yes. Rice of the New York homicide meets the Poison Claw killer. It was the perfect poison racket until... Hold on one moment, ladies and gentlemen. We'll continue with the adventures of Dr. Fauci in one moment. I've got a call from headquarters. Okay. Ugly shoes for comics fans. I'm back. Oh, I've been on camera the whole time, huh? Oh, I've got a full screen. Let's see. Okay, so we're reading about Dr. Fauci. One sunny day in the office of Tom Rice of the New York Homicide. Tom, you've got to help me. Ouch, you little devil, you scratched me. Oh, hello, Bentley. 6 months ago, one of my clients died, leaving a $50,000 insurance policy to his wife. Yesterday, the wife died, leaving another $50,000 policy. My outfit, the Ajax Insurance Company, is suspicious, Tom. You've got to come to the morgue with me. All right, Bentley. You're going to finish the story on the way over. Well, here we are. By the way, who was the beneficiary named in the woman's insurance policy? The next door neighbor, queer Dr. Fauci calls himself. Died of tetanus. Can't mistake it. And Bentley, did you notice those little scratches on her hand? Exactly like the ones I got from Copper, our office cat, when you burst through the door. Mrs. Black had a Manx cat. She left it to Fauci, along with the insurance money and the rest of her estate. I'd like you to see Dr. Fauci, Tom. A few minutes later, at the home of Dr. Fauci. This is the place, eh? I'd better go in alone, Bentley. Wait for me. Okay, I'll be sitting on Mrs. Black's porch right next door. And as beneficiary of the estate of the late Mrs. Black, you no doubt can tell us something of her death, Dr. Fauci.
Yes, it was so unfortunate. Dear Mrs. Black and Mr. Black, too, when he was alive, loved to work in their flower gardens, even though they had a gardener. It was there they picked up the tetanus germ. Is there anything else you'd like to know, Mr. Rice?
No, not now. I might be back to see you later. Goodbye. Seconds later, at the house next door. Did you find out anything, Tom? Plenty. But first, I want to get a sample of the earth around these flower beds. You locate the gardener who worked for Mrs. Black and bring him to the lab. The laboratory at headquarters several hours later. I got the gardener, Tom. He's waiting outside. Good. I just completed my analysis. Bentley, the soil is simply crawling with tetanus germs. I understand you work for Mrs. Black, who had some beautiful flower beds. Did she care for them herself? Oh, no, sir. Since poor Mr. Black died, the dear lady wouldn't even touch the flowers. Now, why would Fauci lie to me, Bentley? I'm going back to see him again. Sorry to trouble you, Doctor, but may I see you for a moment?
Why, certainly. You won't mind following me to my laboratory. I'm working on some experiments.
Dr. Fauci, I spoke to Mrs. Black's gardener about her flower beds.
Her flower beds? Why?
It might interest you to know what he told me, Dr. Fauci. Hey, watch out!
Shit. I'm so sorry, Mr. Rice, but the cat caused me to drop the retort. It was just carbolic acid. The worst you could have gotten would have been a bad burn.
That's so. Well, anyway, since you're so busy, I'll come back another time. Nightfall finds two watchful waiters outside Dr. Fauci's home.
That cat must have come outside sometimes, Bentley. We're sitting here till it does. Look, Tom, Fauci's letting the cat out the lab door now.
I had to get some clippings from this cat's nails. All right, Bentley, shut off the flashlight. Rice's laboratory late that night. What, Tom? None. Just some faint signs of carbolic acid that the cat might have gotten from the retort Fauci tossed at me. I must make him show his hand. Wait. Say, doctor, can you be parked in your car outside Dr. Fauci's house on Elm Street at 11 o'clock tomorrow? I'll tell you what I want you to bring along, too. Go ahead, Tom. What is it? 10:50 the following morning.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Rice. Did you get over your accident all right? I was worried about you.
I know you were. And I have some news that may add to your worries. I've just come from the Ajax Insurance Company.
One moment before you go on, Mr. Rice. I was just feeding my cat in the laboratory. I'll be right back.
Good old Dr. Ogden, right on time. Unless I miss my guest, I'm going to need him. He's a beautiful animal. Is he tame?
Certainly. Here, hold him, Mr. Rice. Now please go on with your story.
Oh, yes, the insurance company told me that they don't intend turning the money over to you. You see, they're not sure Mrs. Black was infected by tetanus or murdered by it.
Murdered? How dare you? Here, give me that cat.
So that's how it's done. Fauci. You frighten the cat to make it scratch its victims.
Get out of my house.
Seconds later. Quick, doctor, give me a shot of the tetanus antitoxin. Then take a specimen of the blood from the scratch and get it examined by the toxicologist at the lab. I'll watch the house so he won't get away. I'll be right back with the report and help if we need it. I got to stop him. He's destroying all the evidence. Those vials contain the tetanus germs. Stop that, Fauci.
No, stop this, Rice.
What happened, Rice? Never mind now. Quick, after him. He got his rear tires. We got his rear tires and his gas tank. Look, he's going over the embankment. Oh, shit. Death claims its reward. He's dead, Rice, but look, those little scratches on his hand. Made by this Chinese back scratcher. We'll find the prongs covered with tetanus germs. He cheated the state and died by his own devilish hand, the killer. The end. That's two comic books from two different companies where they use cats as murder weapons. Well, these very interesting sociologically, isn't it? Let's see what this is. They tricked the schoolgirl's killer. The Casebook of Crime. Case number 1. On November 9th, 1910, America was shocked by the brutal murder of Marie Smith, 14-year-old schoolgirl of Asbury Park, New Jersey. The solution of the murder by Raymond Stormer, a famous New York private investigator, was considered one of the finest bits of crime detection in the annals of America.
Extra, extra, Moira and Joycey, read all about it.
In consideration of innocent persons involved, the names of some of the characters have been altered. How awful. That poor child. Have they caught the murderer yet, dear? No, but they will. The police have rounded up 5 suspects so far, and they're not through yet. That very day. There's that fellow. He's next on our list. He works for the dead girl's aunt. He looks scared, but he makes a run for it. Come on, Ace. The DA wants to ask you a few questions. I didn't do it. I was sleeping back of the woodshed when it happened. Yeah, you'll have a hard time proving that with your record. A florist greenhouse shortly after. Heidemann, you're wanted down at headquarters. It's about the Marie Smith murder.
That was a terrible thing to think it might have happened to my own little sister.
I'm sorry. That was a terrible thing to think it might have happened to my own little sister in Germany, but I'll be glad to help all I can. All right. Sheriff Metrick's office, Monmouth County, New Jersey. We've checked your alibis. You're all free to go. Except you fellow and Frank Heidemann. Take them back to the county jail, Sergeant. Okay, Sheriff. Come on, you two. Stand back, clear the way. Give us that killer. We want the murderer. One moonlight night, a few weeks later, we want you, killer. Lynch him, string him up. Guard, help. Pipe down, Heidemann. You got nothing to worry about. You'll be free in the morning. It's the other guy they want. Wait, men, wait. That fellow was removed to another jail. He's not here. Now go on home. He'll get what's coming to him. Now go home.
He'd better. We'll take the law into our own hands.
Again, the office of Sheriff Hetrick. I sent for you, Detective Stormer, because I need your help. In spite of the indictment of that nice fellow, I don't believe he's guilty. Will you help me prove it? Glad to, Sheriff. It'll be a pleasure. That's not a good voice for him. Remember, Stormer, every dollar I have in the world is in back of you, and I want the real murderer caught. You can count on me, Sheriff. I'll do my best. Short time later, I understand Frank Heidemann is back at his old job since he was released from jail. Now, Mr. Wilson, will you tell me everything you can about him? Well, he's a good, hardworking man. We like him so much. He even lives with us here. We have a lot of fun with him. He's very superstitious. He even believes in howling dogs, werewolves, and ghosts. Whoa, he's a scary one, all right. You don't say. Superstitious, eh? Well, what do you know? That night. Look, Newman, there's the dog, and Heidemann's room is just above. You know what to do. Okay, Chief. Okay, Chief. A few mud balls and stones ought to do the trick. Ow, bow, wow, wow. At midnight. 10 days later. I've got to get away, Mr. Wilson. I'm not feeling very well. Sure, Heidemann. Sure, go ahead. You do look a little peaked, and I noticed you haven't been sleeping well lately. Go on. Take a rest. It'll do you good. You did a good job, Newman. He's about to crack. Now tail him. Right, Chief. I'll stick closer than his shadow. I'll contact you later. Unaware that he's being shadowed, Heidemann arrives in New York. I'm looking for a room. Sure, I have a fine room on the 3rd floor. This way, please. You'll need 2 rooms, lady. I'll want one, too. Several days later, near a lunchroom in the neighborhood. He takes all of his meals here, Stormer. I'll put one of our agents behind the counter. He'll arrange a casual meeting. From now on, your name is Carl Schwartz. You'll take all your meals here, too. After several days of eating alongside of each other, anything new in the paper, buddy? No, there isn't. Please give me my check. Give me my check, please. I'm leaving. What's the matter with that guy? Doesn't he ever talk to anybody? I don't mind him. He's a nice guy. Comes in regular. Nervous, that's all. The following day, I'd like to know you. We're both Germans and should be friends. My name is Frank Heidemann. Maybe you're all right. Okay, I'm Carl Schwartz. Weeks that followed, the men became very friendly. It's been swell having you to share my room, Schwartz. I was very lonesome before you came. Me too, Frank. I'm going down to get a cigar. I'll be right back. In a dark street a few blocks away. Nothing to report yet, Chief. It'll come. Get him to go to the Cameo movie tonight. I got a plan that ought to make him crack. Later that night at the Cameo Theater, I just felt like seeing a good movie. Hey, what's the matter? I feel kind of sick. Let's get out of here. A few minutes later, you'll find some aspirin in the top drawer. Help yourself. Thanks. Hey, what's the idea of the gun, Schwartz? Oh, that. Well, I guess I can trust you now. I lied to you. I'm really a stick-up man. I work with a gang. Gee, well, will you take me in with you? Can you fix it with the gang for me to go join them? Well, I don't know. Anyhow, I've got to meet one of the boys now. See you later at the lunchroom. After Newman has had another talk with Stormer, here, Heidemann, take a look at this. They're looking for you. Want to question you about the Marie Smith murder. Give me that paper. Let me see that. If I had him here, Schwartz. Let's get out of town, any place. Sure, say. How about her Yonkers? Always did like that town. On February 27th, 1911, 4 months after the brutal slaying in a hotel in Yonkers, they got nothing on me. Only I didn't like to be questioned, that's all. I know, say it's a nice day. Let's go for a walk in the country. On a lonely country road. Hi, buddy. You got a match? Beat it, you drunk. Go on your way. Who you calling a drunk? Get back, Idleman. I'll handle him. You killed him. So what? He's only a bum. Going back to the hotel and wait for me there. Again, Newman reports. He falls for everything. The phony newspaper, the planted movie, and the fake shooting, but he just won't open up. He will eventually. I'll send you another phony newspaper and a steamship ticket to Germany in the morning. Be sure he sees both. I'll be around. Back in the hotel room.
We've got to beat it. The cops picked up a lot of clues near that drunk I killed. Say, that's a steamship ticket. Are we leaving the country? Me, Heidemann, not we. You've got too much on me. I'm going alone. Wait, if you had as much on me, then would you take me? Maybe. Well, I killed the girl at Asbury Park. Okay, Heinemann, that's all we wanted to know. You're under arrest. You were right, Chief. The steamship ticket finally did it. On May 24th, 1911, Frank Heidemann paid the extreme penalty for the murder of Marie Smith. How about that? Finis. Okay, we got 10 more pages to go. I thought these killers, like were on the cover, were all teamed up, killing people together. They seem to be individual stories. What happened, man? How do I go back? Oh, previous. Okay, Ace High Private Eye, introducing the tough man of the Gumshoe Gang, the slickest sleuth that ever came out of the slums, Ace High. He won't be polite. He may scare you with his methods, but he gets results. He talks tough. He acts tough. He is tough. But let him show you himself in the magic of murder. The dark shadows of Tower Chase Amusement Park throb to the muted sobbings of two tightly locked figures. You don't fool me, creep. Pull all the tricks you want. I'll get you. Ah! That's just a sample, creep. Fool to meddle in matters that are not of your concern. Anything I get paid to do is my job. With a vicious wrench of tortured muscles, Ace High pulls free. I fought dirty fights before where I grew up. You gotta do better than that. I'll gouge out your eyes. The fuck is going on? I'll slap your teeth loose. Oh, he took a powder on me. But where'd he go? I must be off my nut, turning into thin air like that. Ace, he hypnotized you. He ran away, left you fighting an optical illusion. Oh, hi, Adeline. So that's what he did, huh? Quite a job. You handed me, sister. I never had any idea the day you came into my office that I'd run into crazy stuff. You look so sensible. I never knew any dames like you. You're Ace High? That's me, Angel Face. Draped the frame over the squatter. What's bothering you? Squatter? Oh, you mean the chair. Thanks, Murder. Thanks. Murder and robbery are bothering me. Last night, a cloaked figure killed my father and stole the Karlikov emeralds from his wall safe. Why not see the coppers? My father was a collector. The emeralds were his prize. The police will ask how he got them, but you might get the jewels back without anyone knowing how my father got them. Besides, I know who killed Daddy. Last night, I was awakened by queer sounds. I ran downstairs just in time to see. Yay! That clouded figure was Asmodeus, a magician. He killed my father before the police learned that he did it. I want the emeralds back. Say no more, baby. Just cross my palm with enough silver. Sometime later at the Lormond home, I'll take a fast glim around. Never can tell. Sometimes a gumshoe like me really uncovers a clue. I'll tell my stepmother you're here. Cloaked figure. Someone that stole the emeralds and killed Adeline's father, snooping around again. Weren't you satisfied with the emeralds and murder, wise guy? What? You had to come back for more and got the jewels and itched for the rest. You're crazy. Let me go. Help. You'll get more, all I can give you, in fact. No. Suddenly, the world revolves around Ace's head and everything goes black. I'm sorry, but you were fighting Asmodeus. I tried to hit him and got you. Asmodeus? The devil? Well, you sure picked a good way, lady. How do you tie into this case? You know that crook, Asmodeus? I'm Mrs. Lormond, Adeline's stepmother. You were joking when you said Asmodeus is a crook, weren't you? Not me, lady. Adeline saw him steal the jewels and kill your husband. Guy that did it wore a mask and a cloak. I think it's better for all concerned if you forget this case and leave it to the police. My daughter imagines things. Now be a good boy. Run along. Well, sure, sister. I'll run along.
I'll run along after that guy in the cloak. I got a score to settle with that lug. Ace, this way. We'll follow him in my car. Into a deserted amusement center raced the two cars. With a face like that, you could haunt houses, fella. But I'll do a remodeling job on it for you. But I was all wet. Hey, Adeline, I didn't get to do that remodeling job, did I? And Asmodeus is scrammed. What do we do now? We go see a couple of characters I know, Guts Leonard or maybe Stooky Morgan. They're big mice in Slumland, but they'll talk to me. In Kelly's pool parlor, half an hour later, we'll all be. Ace, what you doing down here with the riffraff? I came down for some dope, Guts. You know Asmodeus, he's some sort of magician. You betcha I know him. He's a con man, takes folks with cute little blackmail schemes. He's a good magician too, and he can hypnotize folks. You want to watch out for him though. He's tough. That changes things. I want to see your stepmother. Asmodeus isn't the kind of guy to steal jewels. Every crook has his specialty. Asmodeus is blackmail. Blackmail? In the Lorchman living room. Watch out! Oh, I didn't expect you. Better let me take the rod, Mrs. Lorman. I don't know what got into me. You were expecting Asmodeus, weren't you? He's been blackmailing you, or your husband. You were going to kill him. Then it was you who stole the jewels. Let me handle this. Do you know where I can find that phony magician, Mrs. Lorman? I have his address somewhere. Asmodeus, magician and hypnotist, the sorcerer's booth, Tower Chase Amusement Park. That's from me. I want to meet that lug again when I know his bag of tricks is just hypnotism. Once more, the Hard Rock Hawkshaw walks the streets of the amusement center. I'm coming for you, Asmodeus. You can't get away. Come out and settle this, man to man. You know too much, I'd better lay you low. Missed. Your aim's rotten. Take a look at your future, Buster. Ow, ow. Can't get away, fella. I'm right at your heels. Can't let him catch me. You're mad. You'll get killed. Stop worrying about me. Start worrying about yourself. I'll worry you. The pistoning fist, a shrill cry at the peak of its run. The scenic railway loses a passenger. Oh, horrible. Here's the jewels you wanted, baby. Now let's go tell the coppers we got their murderer for him. Asmodeus discovered that your dad collected his items from fences, stolen goods dealers. He threatened to yap to the cops. Your dad gave him the combo of his safe. Asmodeus stole the jewels. When you came down, he got panicky and shot your father. Before we see the police, Ace, I want to show you how grateful I am. Gratitude is a great virtue, baby. The end. Oh my God. What kind of degenerates read this comic book back in? And there's the, man, I don't know if I want to read the rest of this text. If you want to read it, you can come on to the, let's see what the ad is on the back. New Easy Way teaches guitar in 3 weeks to your satisfaction or no cost. Yeah. Wish I could play the guitar and be popular like Jim, the lucky guy. Why should you be left out of the fun? Jim only learned a short time ago. Learned by mail, said it was easy. Can you really learn to play that good by mail? Where do you get the course? It's the Jim Major Easy Way. Why don't you send for it and see? 3 weeks later. Gee, look at all the fun I've been missing. Wish I had taken that easy Jim Major course long ago. And that's the story of Elvis Presley, ladies and gentlemen. Start you playing songs at once. If you want to quickly learn guitar playing, if you want to play popular song hits, hymns, waltzes, Western songs, and old guitar favorites like La Paloma, here's sensational news. I'm sure the people that read this comic book were really eager about learning how to play hymns and waltzes. Yes, indeed. The Killers. Oh, there's a second issue. My goodness. Oh, this looks just as wholesome as the first issue. How do I look at it? I guess I click there. Oh man, you got to download this shit. This is no good. It just won't let you look at it. How do you do this? To download files, please log in or register. Oh, this sucks. I don't know how to do this. Maybe you can do it from here. Maybe they only let you down look at a few a day. What is this shit? Oh, is it down here? What is this shit? That's the one I just looked at, right? Yeah, that's the one I just looked at. Is anyone even watching? No, hardly. Nobody's watching. Yes, indeed. All right, well. Yeah. Pull the limo around. I'm ending the broadcast, and I will be down in a moment. Yes, indeed.